day number 8 in our journey in the footsteps of saints on our way to Kraków, World Youth Day 2016. I am Anthony Weir. I'm the principal at St Joseph's East Maitland in the Diocese, and I'm also a parishioner at Cardiff Parish. So ever since I was 12 years old, I wanted to visit Assisi, because when I was 12 my parents took me to see a movie by Federico Fellini called Brother, Sun, Sister, Moon. And I can remember thinking how radical it was that someone could stand there and simply let go of everything that this world had to offer and give their life to God. So yesterday we left Siena and drove to Assisi and got there to the Basilica of St Mary of the Angels, where St Francis adored the cross of St Damien. I was very moved to be in the same place. We spent time in the church, first of all having time to pray, and then a bit of time to wander. Most people, it appeared to me, stopped to keep praying. And we had some time spent visiting the monastery in that area, walking through, seeing the thornless roses, and bypassing a couple of white doves that were sitting in the sanctuary, and we thought that was fairly symbolic of where we were. It was quite hot, so then we got back on the bus. We drove up to the old town of Assisi, and we spent a bit of time having lunch and visiting the old town before walking down to the Basilica of St Francis and St Clare, where we had some time to have a tour through and visit the various parts of the Basilica, the lower area, the middle area and the upper Basilica. Lots and lots of different chapels and places to pray, and also the crypt, or we were close to the crypt of St Francis himself. In the afternoon we celebrated Mass in one of the upper chapels. That was very moving. The singing was just wonderful and joyful, and the sense, I suppose, of peace and solitude was really evident there. And I think the more and more we heard about St Francis and St Clare, the more people felt peaceful and calm. We stayed up in the old town, and in the morning we went to the Hermitage where Francis would go, and it was very stark. It was cool, it was isolated, and I'd be hard pressed if you couldn't meditate there. And it was very quiet and very silent, and obviously a place of great prayer, and could certainly have a sense of where Francis may have spent quite some time in the presence of God. And coming out of there, that was the next morning after we'd been in Assisi overnight, and then we got on the bus to go to Cascia. Bus drive to Cascia. We got to Cascia and went up into the old city to visit the church of St Rita. And went inside the church of St Rita. Unfortunately there was some improvements going on, so there was scaffolding and all sorts of noise. It was a much more modern exterior and interior. We then went into a side chapel that was available for us to have Mass, and spend some time reflecting on the life of St Rita. The highlight of the Assisi to Cascia part of the journey for me was going in the Portincola at the Basilica of St Mary of the Angels, where Francis sat, and having that constructed inside the bigger basilica, and knowing that a person who I had admire, would pray to, would consider someone that probably had as much as I do in life and was prepared to give everything away, allowed God to speak to him in a very radical way. And I guess just kneeling there in front of the cross of St. Damien and thinking, this is where Francis was, and he was a person just like me, and that stopped me.